Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for this assignment. I am a deacon at Elizabeth Baptist Church under the leadership of Bishop Craig L. Oliver, and one of the things that he talks about is the difference between invitations and assignments. So I'm always going to say no to an invitation. I'm always going to say yes to an assignment. And the difference is being connected to your life mission. So my mission in life is to be significant, serving millions, bringing them into a relationship with Jesus Christ, starting with my wife, Kelly, and our daughters, Mackenzie and McKenna. And so this fits within that, which is why it's easy to say yes. But I'm also grateful that for someone like me who did not graduate from college, who pursued an opportunity to play professional baseball, to be able to speak is important because we talk about education, a lot of times it kind of stops at academics and it doesn't leave room for folks like me who've been able to excel from an athletics standpoint. This last week, I finished my certification at Harvard Business School and George Washington University. So I don't have a 4-year degree, but so grateful for the opportunity to represent athletics and as a coach. So I'm excited about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our panelists come up. And so I actually don't have all of the names, but I believe it's Zara. Is it Zaria? So Zaria, let's get you to come on up. And we also have Roderick, William and Connor. And I got an opportunity to speak to the young men a little bit earlier. I didn't get an opportunity to speak to Zaria, but Zaria, these questions that I have for y'all are considered the toughest questions in the world. So I didn't get a chance to talk to you about them. I'm just kidding. No, you're good. So definitely excited to be here. So one of the things that I want to do first before I have them introduce themselves and just give your name, the school that you attend, and we'll just have one word description of yourself, kind of get us grounded in does anybody know how many heavens there are? 7? 7 heavens? Anybody know how many heavens there are? Heavens. 3, yes. So there are 3 heavens. The first heaven is the sky above. The second heaven is the stars and the cosmos. The third heaven is the dwelling place of God. So I've got scripture for all of that, and you can definitely take some time to study that. Our panelists today are rising stars. These are young people moving their way through the heavens. Each step of their journey, each moment of movement, each act of discipline is carrying them higher, shaping them into who they are called to become. Movement, which is sports, dance, and fitness, is not extracurricular, it's co-curricular. It regulates the mind, strengthens the body, and protects the soul from stress becoming trauma. So speaking about that, when we start seeing people showing up and doing things to where our response is, why did they do that? Why did they say that? That person has reached a level of trauma where their brain has changed. And so the good news is the brain is a muscle and the brain can be changed. But the thing is movement is something that helps regulate that. We all experience stress. So there's 2 levels of stress. A positive stress called eustress and a negative stress called distress. But for them, it will unpack this. But to be able to move and be in safe environments to do it is very expensive. So the NFL is an $18 billion industry. Travel youth sports, of which your children are probably participating in, travel youth sports is a $40 billion industry. So it is very expensive to be able to move. Today, we aren't asking what you want to be when you grow up. We're asking what world problem are you being shaped to solve, and how is movement preparing you for your purpose as you rise through the heavens? So just one at a time, we'll just go with your first name, last name, the school you attend, and just give us one word to describe you.
My name is William Miller. I go to Green Forest Michaela Christian Academy, and I'm a tennis player.
Okay, and then one word to describe you. Okay, good. Tennis player, that's good. All right.
My name is Connor Eberhardt. I go to Landmark Christian School, and one word I would say to describe myself is consistent.
Okay.
My name is Roderick Page. I go to Best Academy, and one word that describes me is determined.
Hi, my name is Aria Zachary. I go to the Main Street Academy, and one word that I would use to describe me is devoted.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. So here's the first question. I'm going to start each question with a verse, and then I'll ask the question. So the first verse is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. So that's the verse, Colossians 3:23. Now, what world problem do you feel called to solve, and how is movement or athletics shaping your ability to solve it? So we'll start here with you, William.
I feel called to help address the lack of opportunities for young people, especially in communities where resources are limited. Sports showed me how structure and discipline can change your life, so I want others to have that too.
I think one world problem that I was called to solve is something around homelessness. I think a lot of times you see people not being able to achieve what they want to achieve in their life based off of, their situation, not being able to move around, have proper, food and nutrients in their body to be able to perform how God intends them to be. And I think movement can inspire that by, getting up, having encouragement and, a will to want to move and better your situation. So.
One world problem that I've been called to solve is like people being like unhealthy and stuff like that. Like with movement, they could like better their life and body and stay healthy.
One world problem that I want to solve is that people listen to kids more. Like, it seems like when we speak, sometimes people don't listen or they don't convey it as we say it. So me being a student athlete, we do teams and stuff like that. So you have to be social and all that. So I feel like we should listen to teens more so I can be a listening ear and stuff like that for people to have somebody to say it for them and be a voice.
And so with this question again, there are two questions, and I'm not going to say which one is better or worse, but there is a question you can ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? But there's another question of like, what world problem do you want to solve? Because there are world problems that they want to solve, and there are industries that haven't even been created yet that they will be leading in the future. So the second verse, and a question that follows it, is 1 Timothy 4:8. Physical training is of some value. The question is, how has movement, sports, fitness, or dance helped you manage stress and stay mentally and emotionally regulated?
Sports help me clear my mind. When I'm stressed, I just play or work out, and it helps me relax and focus.
And within your age group, what are some of the other things that may be unhealthy that you have, that you know of people are doing to regulate themselves?
Vaping, smoking, alcohol.
Okay. All right. How about you, Connor?
I say similar answer. I feel like sports is a outlet to kind of relieve what's going on in the regular world. You see, it's a lot of negativity going on in today's society, and I feel like sports gives us kind of a way to, communicate how we feel through performing and through using our bodies and doing something different than what's normal, doing something that will give us encouragement, better our bodies, and overall want to, impact the world.
Sports help me with stress by like being able to express myself and being around people that can encourage me.
I will have to say it's like just a really peaceful standpoint for me when I'm playing sports. And I don't know, it just puts me in a happy place, so it makes me not be stressed. And yeah, when I'm happy, I'm not thinking about my mental or emotional standpoint in a bad way. I'm always thinking in a happy way when I'm playing sports, whether it's me doing track or competition cheer or I'm doing band.
And that's so important as well, too, because again, as I talk about the $40 billion industry of travel youth sports, I mean, in order to do it well and have it well funded, you all as parents understand the sacrifice you all have to make financially to be able to help them. And so part of the work that I'm committed to doing is to even speak to Congress at some point to talk about the importance of money and funds being provided so that you can have these great experiences so that they can grow up to be what I call major league citizens, gainfully employed, civically engaged, and radical philanthropists. So the third verse in question is Hebrews 12:1. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. What is one lesson you've learned through movement or athletics that you couldn't have learned in a classroom alone?
The biggest lesson I learned in sports is resilience. Don't quit, just adjust and keep improving.
I think similar to the one thing I used to describe myself, I think the biggest thing I learned was consistency. In everything you do, you have to be consistent. The classroom really doesn't teach you how to be consistent. It teaches you, I guess, how to learn. You're being forced to learn. Like he was talking about, like a lot of us don't want to learn what we're learning in school. So teaching consistency outside the classroom through sports is something that you'll need through the rest of your life. So.
One thing I learned in sports that I couldn't learn in a classroom is determination. Because in sports, like, you can't give up even when it becomes hard. You got to keep going to get better at the sport.
I would have to agree on what the first one said about resilience. I feel like you always have to keep pushing even when it gets hard. Like, for example, when you're in track, you can't stop. You have to keep pumping your legs till you get to the finish line and keep up your stamina, so you have to keep going. It's not a choice of being able to stop.
So my working definition of education is learning what I need to learn to do what I need to do. So I got to first figure out what I need to do, which is why it's asking them, what world problem do you want to solve? Then I can go to spaces and places to learn what I need to learn. So for me as a student, athletics, I felt like was a part of education. But as a young student in Atlanta, if it wasn't academic focused, then I was failing at life. And so as I got older and started to see the connection between the arts, athletics, and academics, and it can make me a whole person, it really has allowed me to really value education as a whole. So the fourth, access to movement is unequal and often expensive. If you could redesign the system so all young people had free and fair access to movement and athletics, what would you change?
I would make sports cheaper and easier so everyone can play, no matter where they come from.
Similar answer, definitely making sports cheaper, because I play baseball. I've been playing baseball since I was 4. And the amount of money my mom and dad spent is crazy. Like, even just going up and seeing, like, the bill at the cash register would be crazy. So just definitely making sports cheaper, more accessible, making it more, I guess, easier to access with or without transportation. Like I said, consistency, being on time, being at practice, being able to be there so you can better yourself, better your body, etc. So yeah.
I will also make sports more affordable because some people don't have the money to buy what you need to play the sport, or they might not have have accessibility to the stuff that they need.
I would have to say, like, have schools, like, have physicals there, because most kids don't make the team because they don't have their physicals, so I would do that. I will also try to have people do more carpools because not everybody has access to get to the school at a certain time. And also, I would try to have, like, PE teachers or something like that, like the coaches, like, have a couple of kids that they can coach for free. And the kid has to go from there because you have to push yourself. But as far as the coaching, I think they should have that.
good. I mean, as y'all were saying that, I just started thinking about who I am. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a loving husband. I'm a devoted father. I'm a business owner. If I didn't have athletics, I don't think I would be any of that, including being a follower of Christ. I mean, because I think at a very young age, if I wasn't regulated through sports, it wouldn't have given me the outlook that I needed positively in life. So the final one is a verse and a question as well. 1 Corinthians 9:27. I discipline my body and bring it under control. How has athletic movement helped you stay grounded? And what advice would you give peers who feel stressed or disconnected from their bodies?
With pressing everyday tennis, it just keeps me focused and disciplined. My advice is just stay active and find something you like doing and stick with it.
A way sports have made me stay grounded is through my faith. Because a lot of the times you can have, especially in the sport I play, you can have ups and downs, and it can really either motivate you or sometimes you want to quit. So really just keeping your faith in God and knowing that it's going to get better no matter what is a key thing that I found to help me stay grounded. And some advice that I would also tell other athletes is kind of the same, it ties into each other. Like knowing God, knowing who God is, it really is a key aspect of, you know, somebody you can lean on that will really motivate you to want to do better in life.
How sports has grounded me is through like keeping me determined and like stress free, because I relieve my stress through sports. And the advice I might give someone is don't give up in the sports and just stay locked in and keep going.
I would have to say it keeps me grounded because it gives me a whole outlet outside of school life, because as you get older, you have more work, you have to keep worrying about your GPA, all that. So it just kind of gives me an outlet to be myself. And the things that advice I would tell people is that, like you said, find something you like and stick with it. Like whether you take a 5-minute run or you want to go practice, like, I don't know, doing racquetting or something like that. Like it's just the little things that can make your day better and take your mind off things.
So in closing, I mean, with whatever time we have, maybe we can have 7 minutes so we could get some questions from the audience as well too, that we can unpack it a little bit further. I came in, I wore my marathon medal. I ran my first marathon on March 1st here in Atlanta, and I'm planning to run the Boston Marathon next year. Running was definitely not something that I grew up with, especially long distance. But on February 23rd, 2020, when Ahmaud Arbery was killed here in Georgia, I just, and also with COVID, I just found myself in a very dark place, and I just really needed to be active. And so for me as an adult, I was about 265 pounds at the time. I'm now down to about 215. My family loves me now that I'm in this place, but I had to commit now to being able to do it, and now I fallen in love with running. I'm a sneakerhead as well too, so now that means I got a closet full of shoes and all kind of stuff that's driving my wife crazy. But my encouragement to you all, even as adults, we have the children, our rising stars, but a dysregulated adult cannot regulate a dysregulated child. So oftentimes as our children and people that we lead that are dysregulated, a lot of it is just compounded and it becomes trauma because you yourself are dysregulated. So that's what I offer. You may not be a marathoner, but 5K, 10K, something like that. Y'all have a question?
What made y'all start sports? And no, just what made y'all start sports?
My dad's love for sports just came to me, so I just stick with what he taught me, and I just kept playing.
We all answer? Yeah. We all answer? Okay.
Sure.
Well, my dad put me into baseball when I was 4, but I think the question that I would answer to your question is like what kept me into sports. I think when I was like 11 or 12, playing travel ball every day, playing 4 games a week all day. 4 games a weekend all day. It kind of motivated me to, do more outside of, what's required in terms of being consistent, working out, stuff like that. It really just made me more focused into my sport and to, going to the next level.
Roger, we got a question for you and Zaria. So what's your question?
My question is, like, what do y'all want to be when y'all get older?
So I want to go pro in sports. Like, I want to go to the MLB or the NFL. I just want to go pro in sports, and if that don't work out, I might become an entrepreneur.
I know the panel is sports related, but I want to be a psychologist when I grow up.
Well, that's awesome. So listen, you can be gainfully employed and solve world problems through sports. Right now, there's nothing in the world that's larger than the World Cup, and it's coming to Atlanta. Like nothing. I mean, other than Jesus Christ coming back. But other than that, so it's real big. But there's a lot of jobs and careers that are connected to that. So what I would say is yes, try to become a major leaguer in any sport. And then, yes, also focus on being a major league citizen, gainfully employed, civically engaged, and radical philanthropist. But all major league sports teams have chaplains, they have psychologists, they have folks chefs, content, you name it. Driving cars, everything, accountants. So please don't give up on athletics.